Hello, Switzerland. Words a tourist will meet, episode 24. You arrive in Switzerland. You step off a train that was to the second on time. A local at the kiosk says something to you cheerfully, briskly, and you do not understand a single word. This episode is about the people a tourist will meet in Switzerland, a country that is as polite, precise, and quietly strange as everyone says. We begin in Geneva, where the country's reputation starts. Switzerland is cosmopolitan. Cosmopolitan means worldly, multicultural, a citizen of the world. From the Greek cosmos, world, plus polites, citizen. In Geneva alone, you find the European headquarters of the United Nations, the International Red Cross, and the World Health Organization. A quarter of Switzerland's population was born somewhere else. On a single Zurich tram, you will hear 4 languages before the next stop, which brings us to the languages themselves. Switzerland is a polyglot country. Polyglot comes from the Greek poly, many, plus glotta, tongue. Switzerland has 4 official languages. German in the north and center, French in the west, Italian in the south, and Romansh spoken by barely 0.5% of the population. You cross them without a passport. You feel them at breakfast. And in a single 40-minute train ride, hello changes 4 times. Now, the greeting. The Swiss are cordial. Cordial means warm, hearty, sincere. From the Latin cor, cordis, meaning heart. The same root gives us concord, hearts together. Discord, hearts apart, accord, hearts aligned. Courage, literally, taking heart. In a Swiss elevator, you say Grüezi to the stranger. In a Swiss shop, the clerk says Grüezi before you do. On a Swiss hiking trail, you say Grüezi to every person you pass. Skip the Grüezi and you are simply not participating. They are also courteous. A Swiss handshake comes with eye contact. A Swiss neighbor of 20 years is still addressed by last name. And on Sunday, a Swiss law quietly tells you not to vacuum, not to run the washing machine, not to mow the lawn. This is not a custom. It is the Ruhe Visite, the quiet hour, and if you violate it, your neighbor can call the police. And they are hospitable. In the Alps, there is a system of huts run by the Swiss Alpine Club. You book weeks in advance. You arrive with your boots. You eat at a long wooden table, elbow to elbow with strangers you will never see again. And someone passes you the bread. In any Swiss village, any public fountain, and there are thousands of them, is drinkable. You never need to buy water. And daily Swiss manners are decorous. Decorous means proper, dignified, fitting for the occasion. From the Latin decor, meaning what is seemly. The same root gives us decorum, the rules of proper behavior. Decent, fitting, acceptable, decorate, to make fitting. Before dinner in Switzerland, there is the apéro, a glass of white wine or sparkling water, a plate of cheese cubes, olives, small salted biscuits. You stand, you make small talk. The apéro is not dinner, it is the ritual before dinner. It is how a Swiss host tells you that you have arrived. You do not skip the apéro. That would be indecorous, and behind the politeness is something older. The Swiss old money class is genteel. Genteel means refined, mannerly, old-fashioned in a quiet way. On Zurich's Paradeplatz, where the Swiss banks have kept their doors for 150 years, the rule is quiet. You do not show the money in Switzerland, you have the money. A genteel Swiss banker wears a wool suit with no logo. Now, the language itself. What a Swiss person speaks at home is vernacular. Vernacular means the native, everyday speech of a region, homegrown language. Not imported, not formal. From the Latin verna, a slave born in the master's house. In the German-speaking north and center, 2/3 of the country, the vernacular is Schweizerdeutsch, Swiss German. And it is almost never written down. Newspapers print Standard High German. Official documents, Standard High German. When a Swiss-German television program airs in Germany, the Germans subtitle it. The Swiss write one language and speak another. The speech is also colloquial. Colloquial means casual, conversational, the way people actually talk. From the Latin colloquium, conversation. Even hello has colloquial variants, Grüezi in Zurich. Grüßeck in Bern, salut between friends, salut between younger friends. You can guess someone's canton from a single syllable of hello. and it is idiomatic. Idiomatic means phrase the way a native would phrase it, the turn of phrase, the saying, the expression. From the Greek idios, meaning one's own. The Swiss have a saying, is hat, so long's hat. Literally, there is as long as there is. You say it at a buffet when the food is running low. You say it about time, patience, the last bottle of a good wine. It captures a Swiss view of the world. The good things are finite, and the gracious thing is to enjoy them while they last. Now, one last thing about the people. They are affable, they are congenial, and they are, in a very particular way, unassuming. Switzerland's president changes every year. Most Swiss cannot tell you who the current president is. They do not especially care to. The point of Swiss government is that it does not need a face. They are also reticent. A Swiss acquaintance of an hour will not tell you what they do for a living. An acquaintance of a month will not, over coffee, describe their divorce. The warmth is real. The distance is also real. In Switzerland, a friendship is a slow investment. You earn the story. And when they do answer, they are succinct. If you ask a Swiss question and the answer is yes, you will often get one syllable. Joe. Joe. Joe is not cold. Joe is simply sufficient. A Swiss yes is a yes. So this is the first thing the tourist meets. Not the mountains, not the chocolate, not the clocks. The manners. A country that is cordial without being loud. Courteous without being stiff. Polyglot without showing off. Reticent without being cold. A country that greets you on every elevator, at every trailhead, and then graciously lets you be. 15 words. Bank these. Cosmopolitan, worldly, at home in many cultures. Polyglot, a speaker of many languages. Root, glotta, tongue. Cordial, warm and friendly, from the heart. Root, core, heart. Courteous, polite, respectful, well-mannered. Hospitable, welcoming to guests and strangers. Decorous, proper, dignified, fitting. Root, decor, seemliness. Genteel, refined, well-mannered, slightly old-fashioned. Vernacular, everyday native language. Root, verna, homeburn. Colloquial, casual, conversational speech. Idiomatic, phrased the way a native speaker phrases it. +5, you already know. Affable, congenial, succinct, unassuming, and reticent. Part 1 ended with the manners, gruzy, the apparel, the quiet Sunday. Part 2 is about what makes those manners possible, a country that runs to the second. In Switzerland, on time does not mean approximately on time. It means on time. The train at 9:14 does not leave at 9:14 and a bit. It leaves at 9 hours 14 minutes and 0 seconds. The door closes at 9 hours 13 minutes and 50 seconds. If you are still running down the platform at 9:14, you are already too late. Switzerland is punctual. Punctual means on time, at the point of the time. From the Latin punctum, meaning a point. The same root gives us punctuation, puncture, and punctilious. Look at the station clock. It was designed in 1944 by a Swiss engineer named Hans Hilfiger. It does something almost no other clock in the world does. The red second hand sweeps quickly, about 58 seconds around, and then pauses, motionless, at the 12. For roughly a second and a half, every station clock in Switzerland is paused together, waiting for the minute hand to tick. Then they all release at once. The whole country is synchronized to the second. Behind the clocks is something even more astonishing. The Taktfahrplan, the clock face schedule. Every train in Switzerland, on every line, departs at the same minute past every hour, 9:14, 10:14, 11:14. Connections are guaranteed. If your train is running late, the one you are supposed to catch holds. The entire country is one timetable. It sounds impossible. It is what the Swiss do for a living. The Swiss are not merely punctual. They are punctilious, attentive to every small point of propriety. If a meeting begins at 2, they arrive at 1:58, not 1:55, which would be early, not 2:01, which would be late. Now, the cleanliness. Switzerland is immaculate. Immaculate means spotless. From the Latin immaculatus, in, not, plus macula, spot, without a single mark. In Zurich, household garbage goes out in a specific bag, The Zuri sack, sold only at Swiss supermarkets, numbered and with the city's disposal tax priced in. If you put out the wrong bag, it does not get collected. It sits there. It grows an orange warning sticker, and the garbage inspectors will, if needed, open it, find an envelope with your name on it, and mail you a fine. Glass in Switzerland is sorted by color, clear, green, brown, into 3 separate bins. PET, aluminum, batteries, cooking oil, cardboard, and electronics each have their own drops. Every public fountain in Switzerland, of which there are thousands, is drinkable. Lake Geneva itself is drinkable. You can lean down, cup your hands in the middle of a Swiss city and drink the lake. And the service at hotels, on trains, on the yellow post bus winding up to an Alpine pass is impeccable. Impeccable means faultless, literally without a sin. From the Latin peccare, to sin or to commit a fault. The same root gives us peccadillo, a small sign, a minor fault. Before every blind mountain curve, every Swiss post bus driver sounds the horn, and the horn, by regulation, plays the first 3 notes of Rossini's William Tell Overture. Those 3 notes, every bus, every curve, for a century. Other countries sound an ordinary horn, the Swiss codified Rossini. And the precision is not just in the cheerful places. It is in the serious ones, too. The Swiss are conscientious. Conscientious means careful, attentive, dutifully aware of what is right. From the Latin conscientia, knowing together with oneself. The same root, scire, gives us conscious, omniscient, prescient, and science itself. In Switzerland, every man does mandatory military service, and when he goes home, he takes his army rifle with him. There are around 2 million firearms in Swiss homes. There's almost no gun violence. During the Cold War, the Swiss wired most of their major bridges, tunnels, and mountain passes with demolition charges, the National Redoubt, ready to seal the country off if invaded. And since 1963, Swiss law has required that every resident have access to a nuclear fallout shelter. If you move into a modern Swiss apartment building, there is a steel-doored room in the basement with a ventilation unit. It is yours. It is assigned. Nobody expects to use it. Nobody considers removing it. And they are assiduous. Assiduous comes from the Latin assiduous, sitting at something, staying with the task. Every Swiss hiking trail has signs. Yellow, wooden, painted with exact walking times. 2 hours 35 minutes to Grindelwald. 1 hour 10 minutes to Kleinscheidegg. Not about 2.5 hours. 2 hours 35 minutes. And the times are accurate. Someone walks these trails, measures them, and updates the signs. When a sign is damaged or faded, someone replaces it. You will not find a neglected trail sign in Switzerland. It is, on a national scale, an assiduous undertaking. Every autumn, the Swiss herd their cattle down from the alpine summer pastures in a procession called the Alpabzug. The cows wear crowns of flowers. The herders wear embroidered shirts. The whole village lines the road to welcome them back. It is a farmer's calendar, but it is kept every year with the exactness of a ceremony. Now, the landscape of Swiss life. The villages are picturesque. Picturesque means like a picture. So composed it looks painted. From the Latin pictus, past participle of pinger, to paint. The same root gives us picture, pictorial, depict. In the canton of Appenzell, once a year, the entire eligible voting population gathers in the town square for the Langemeinde, the cantonal assembly, and votes on local laws by raising their right hand. A man on a platform counts the hands. If the count is close, they count again. It is how Switzerland has been voting in some cantons for over 600 years. It is binding law. It looks like a painting. It is a painting of direct democracy, and the valleys are idyllic. Idyllic means peacefully perfect. From the Greek idyllion, a little scene of rural life. During an Alpabzug, in an alpine meadow, you will hear the cows before you see them. The bells come over the ridge first. 30, 40, 100 different tones, and then the herd appears, flower-crowned, unhurried, coming down to the valley for the winter. You stand on the path and let them pass. You do not take the first picture. You just listen. And the old festivals are quaint. Quaint means charmingly old-fashioned, unusual in a pleasing way. Every few years, the Swiss gather at Interlaken for the Unspunnen Festival, where men in traditional dress hurl an 83-kilogram stone, about 184 pounds, as far as they can. A few meters is a triumph. Next to the stone throwers is a ring of sawdust, where pairs of men in burlap trousers grip each other's belts and wrestle, backs straight, for the title of Schwingerknig, the swing king who becomes a national hero for 4 years. A Swiss child, asked to name their favorite athlete, might well name a Schwinger. Now, the infrastructure. The Swiss transport system is efficient. Efficient means productive without waste. 99% of Swiss residents live within walking distance of public transit. One pass, the Swiss Travel Pass, covers trains, buses, boats on the lakes, cable cars up the mountains, and the yellow post bus to any village that has a road to it. You do not buy a separate ticket. You do not check a separate schedule. One pass, one country, one timetable. And Swiss service is accommodating. Accommodating means helpful, flexible, willing to make room. From the Latin accommodare, to adjust, to fit. In Switzerland, the government accommodates the people, not the other way around. Roughly 4 times a year, the Swiss hold a national referendum, and the people vote on actual laws. In recent decades, they have voted on a basic income for every citizen, on subsidies for farmers who leave the horns on their cows, on whether to ban the construction of new minarets, on joining the United Nations, and on the retirement age. Some pass, most fail, all are binding. Switzerland is the closest thing the modern world has to a direct democracy, and that is why Swiss service, at every level, is patient, flexible, and used to being asked. Swiss attention to detail is meticulous without being rigid. On every construction site, the workers stop at 9 for Zinuni, the 9 o'clock snack, and again at 4 for Ziveri, the 4 o'clock. These breaks are not a custom. They are on the schedule. They are in the union contract. A Swiss site where the workers miss their Zinuni is a site where something has gone wrong. And Swiss choices are judicious. When Switzerland's biggest supermarket chain, Migros, was founded in 1925, its founder Gottlieb Duttweiler decided that Migros would never sell alcohol or tobacco. 100 years later, it still doesn't. You will find everything else in a Migros. You will not find a bottle of wine because the founder decided in 1925 that a grocery store that sells alcohol was not the kind of store he wanted to run. The country respected it. They still respect it. So this is what the tourist meets. A country that is punctual without being cold, immaculate without being sterile, picturesque without being staged, efficient without being rushed. A country that quietly believes small things are worth doing well: the bed, the train, the sign, the sentence, the time. The landscapes are pristine, the mountains are serene, the villages are tranquil, and everything runs on a kind of shared agreement that if it works, it is because enough people, every day, decided to make it work. You will, at some point, miss a train by 40 seconds. You will, at some point, put your garbage in the wrong bag. You will, at some point, stand on the left side of an escalator and block half of Zurich. And the Swiss will be kind about it, because that is the real lesson of the courteous country. Precision without cruelty. Switzerland does not ask you to be perfect. It only asks you to try.